obviously of the Conway cardinal clubman. The video that I just did, I've just showed you one of the bedrooms, and both of the bedrooms were replaced. When we bought it, there was significant damage to them. They were rotten basically, and we had to have them made at Tent Valet Services, which was, I think, was about nearly £700 for the two. The awning was in very poor condition, and you can see from some of the photos I took and the video that there's some mends on the top. Don't think there's any mends on the main green piece, the roof, but there is mends on the edges of the valance here, and you can see there's some mending. So, and there's quite a lot of staining, which is not hugely noticeable, but is certainly there. But it's completely waterproof, and all the zips work. All of the toggles were replaced that you can see on the bottom, the red ones and the other colours. This is an annex that we bought about 2 years after we'd bought it, which is, at the moment, it's fitted to the awning. As you can see, we have got the door, not the door, sorry, the side panel that fits on there instead of the annex if you don't want the annex. It's not that the annex, the end window's missing, it's just not on at the moment. I think we paid over £100 or maybe £150 just for the annex, which is the original, although the colourway is slightly different if you notice, because it's more faded, the awning. The annex is almost cream, but it's not hugely different. But then again, the bedrooms are slightly different too, because they're brand new. They were only fitted about 4 years ago when we first bought it. I think 5 years ago actually when we bought it, and then we replaced them in the first year to get it going. They're completely the same as the originals as regards to the tent fabric. Was strong, thick, and bedroom windows work exactly the same. This is the pump that you can see into the tank, which the tank's probably not going to be included in the sale, but you can easily buy them, and the hook-up lead. And then coming around the sides. It's quite sunny today, so I'm not sure how well this will work, but you'll get the idea. All of the lights work on it, the brakes work, they're fully working. I replaced the shock absorber in this part because it's still not fantastic, but I suspect it probably just needs a bit of an oil, because we've not used it. We use it like once a year generally. Sometimes we've used it twice, so we've probably camped in it about 8 to 10 times maximum. The door's obviously rolled back at the moment. There'll be no ground sheet at the moment in the sale, because we're hoping to buy something similar. We're not sure what we're buying yet, so we may need this. This ground sheet's not original, it just added, just something we put in. My wife put a new window in, which was all stitched in and finished when we bought it. This is the interior in at the moment. If you was going to have the toilet tent in and a changing area or a storage area, but again, this can be removed, which then gives you can see the section goes round and the mesh window. And we've been camping here for the week, and we've only just put this up for purposes of this video. We've actually just camped without it, where we've put the chairs further into the awning to give a bit more space. All the skirts are here that go around the door. This has been added, put in an electric socket, so you can use this directly into the awning. And a TV socket was put in there, which goes under the van, so you plug in the aerial under the van. And also another small socket there has been added with charging point. That's when it's on 240. Also down here, when you run on a battery, which is what we do a lot as well, we've got a section here that's running on the 12-volt battery if you put a battery in it. The lights run on 12-volt, and so does the water pump. But you will need a battery or a transformer to run those things, because the power unit that's below this down here has failed when we bought it, and I replaced it, but then it failed again, and they're sort of about 80 and 90 pounds, and I gave up doing it, so we just ran the battery when we come away. So we always come away with the battery, and we just charge the battery every day with a trickle charger, which are only like 25 quid if you need that. If you camp more wild camping, which is what we do sometimes when we go Wales, we don't have a hookup, then we just run on 12 volt and the gas fridge. The gas fridge works perfect, and so does it run on 12 and 240 as well. Obviously you can see the wardrobe, and that folds down. Everything is as it should be. The roof light works. I had to mend it. It's not fantastic, but it's never failed. It doesn't leak, and it works. It opens and closes. As you can see here, there's a little bit of burning again. That was before we had it. It's obviously doesn't look fantastic, but it is there. All of the bedrooms are clean and tidy. This was all cleaned up. You can see some marking round. It was just damaged. We had to take off all the staplers and refit it, but the markings are there, but they're not that evident when you're looking at it when you're actually in the van, but they are there. The mesh windows all work fine when you open them. These two windows, the two kitchen windows as such, the living areas, they roll down. The bedrooms zip back, the window part, and then you've got the mesh, which is what you've got here when this one's open, you see. So then at night you can roll them down and then have complete privacy. And you've got a wardrobe, you see, that you can store your clothing in, and then food on top. You have cupboards with lots of space in them for all kinds of things. Items, cutlery drawer, and then other drawers for other items, then a cupboard there. And then obviously you've got under storage. The seating area's got storage, which all comes up, and when you lift it up you can get into them there, you see. The table is original as well, and that all works fine. All the curtains my wife made, as the ones in the awning, because again when we bought it had no curtains, so she replaced all of those with new. The runners were still there, but we had to buy the plastic fittings, so we did them in plain green so they didn't date as much. I can't remember what was originally in it because they weren't in it. And she's done the ones outside in the awning, which, to be fair, they're not the best curtains, as in not that she made them no good. None of the curtains are very good in this year of awning in the 90s. They sort of hang rather than fit the windows terribly well, but they work, and when they're closed you've got privacy and things. And you can see that all the awning poles, they connect on these wire clips at the top, and then you've got the sponge down the bars that wind up and down. We have actually got the covers for these. The two of them are on the van at the front, but because these are inside I didn't put them on, but they are there in the van. And then there's the corner again of the awning, so you get the idea of it. All of the information on the internet about the Conway Cardinal Clubman is on the Conway owner's website, as in the size of the awning, the width of it, and the width of the van. The van's 3 meters, so the awning's 3, but then it sort of skirts out another, I'd say, 1.5 foot each side, and then you've got 2.5 feet, I think, from the door to the window, as in the door of the van coming out. You can see all the poles. Again, they're not fantastic, but they all do work. There's no great bends in any of them, and all the fittings and the way they fit together is exactly as they should. The feet are adjustable at the bottom, and that's about it really. You've got storage at the front of the van. The tyres are fairly good on it as far as I can remember, and all working, and it tows really well. It's a big trailer, but does tow fine. I'll just show you the plate on it. If I can find it, it's down here somewhere. If we can read it. There we go. So that's the little box I put in that's got the aerial cable, and now you can see under the van as well, and the tyres. All the feet wind fine and everything, the winders are with it and everything, and that's it. The only thing I would say is the roof, clearly when we bought it, did leak, or it had leaked in the past. And what I did do is the strip that goes down the middle, I removed that and resealed it all, and then fitted it back, and I resealed it around the very edge of it where there's some there's like an aluminium trim. So I resealed all that, and since then it's been fine. But on top there's been the odd, not quite sure why, but the odd tiny pinprick hole. Mainly was in one corner, which I put some silicone in, and it's never leaked since. And that's the truth. We've had it 5 years, it doesn't leak, although I do cover it over in the winter, because it's kept outside mainly. It does sometimes be in the garage, but it's mainly been outside. And over the years I have covered it with a green sheet of tarpaulin, which stops any water getting in anyway. But it never leaks when we're on holiday. I mean, we've had quite a lot of rain this week, and it hasn't, it doesn't come in anywhere, and I suspect it never will, because when we coated it, we did a really good job with like a gold seal, and we did it twice over, so it just doesn't leak anywhere. It stands up in any winds. It's very strong and sturdy, and providing you pack it away carefully. The windows and these have to be careful when you fold them in, when you slide in the bedrooms, and be particularly careful of all that. But it's just things you need to learn if you buy a caravan like this or a camper like this, that it's just something you learn over the years. Sometimes you make mistakes and you have to have them repaired, which is some of the things that's obviously, some of them that you see on eBay, they've been damaged for the same reason. Just, you know, slightly careless, not so much careless, it's almost not knowing, not understanding. But everything is here, and everything, like I say, works, apart from the 12 volt system, which you need a battery for to run. Even when you're on 240 plugged in, it doesn't transform to 12 volts, so you need a battery or a transformer that you can plug in, which there is power where the battery goes, or there's a socket that I put in there as well, so you can plug in a transformer or a battery charger, and then you'll get your lights inside and your water pump. But everything else runs on 240 anyway, so if your fridge, that runs on 240 or gas or 12 volt if you need it, and then you've got power outside if you want to power things in the awning. We've brought a fridge this time, so we've had 2 fridges to have extra cold drinks. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thank you for looking at it.